What? Where are you right now?
I am in the upper deck
Oh,
at,
in Atlanta?
in Atlanta, Georgia.
Oh,
Well, outside on the outskirts.
oh. I
Yeah.
bet you Cole's never been there.
No, he probably hasn't been. He said he's going to go a lot of times, but he never goes because
Yeah, that's typical Cole. Make
that's
his
super. All those kids that make plans all the time.
back in my day. Back in my day, you stuck with those plans.
That's right. If you didn't, you got a whooping.
Yep.
Like they'd send you out and get like a hickory stick.
And you respected your elders.
That's right. Like when they said something. Yeah. Like when they said something, like you said, yes, sir, no, sir, or yes, ma'am, no, ma'am. Like these kids, they got it made. Like, throw me a ball, I'm a kid. Throw me a ball, I'm a kid, and they get one.
Kids shouldn't even have balls. I mean, their balls haven't even dropped yet.
No, I've seen, like, there are little kids that drop balls. So that's just because they're usually not as good of a catcher.
That's true.
So. But we're going to go live.
Yeah, what should we talk about when we go on?
We had like a little mini Ballhawk fest down here, so we could talk about that.
Oh, yeah. And we had a mini up there.
Yeah, so like a southeast Ballhawk fest and a northwest Ballhawk fest.
Yeah.
But we got to get this technology stuff working.
Yeah.
I don't know how.
So, are we technically on the internet right now?
Are we?
I don't know. I don't know how that works.
Oh. What's this thing right here mean? This yellow box.
Leave. So I think that if you want to leave, you can leave if you hit that.
Oh. I thought I meant live.
Oh, that's probably true.
Like it's give you something to live for.
Yeah, I want to live.
Yeah, that's cool to live, man.
Yeah.
Wait a sec. Get off my lawn!
Yeah, you yell at them.
You guys, whippersnappers down there.
Damn kids.
Get off my lawn.
They have everything paid for them. All they have to do is show up and then ask other people for free stuff. It's ridiculous.
Yeah. Like, hey, can I have a ride? Or hey, I need to get picked up. Can I have a dime to go get some candy down at the local soda jerk?
Yeah. Oh man. Yeah, back in my day, you had to walk there. Now they can just like Uber and stuff. They're spoiled. No wonder why they're fat.
Yeah, and when I was a kid, I had to walk all the way up a hill to the stadium, and then I had to walk back up the hill to go home. So I had to walk up a hill both ways. And I couldn't even, like, we didn't have gloves. You know what you use? It's like a cow's stomach. And the rich kids, they took a shoelace and they tied it around their wrist. So they were out there catching fly balls with a cow's stomach.
That's unfortunate too, because you can really use those cow's stomachs for haggis.
You could. Well, some people use balloons.
Oh.
Like a deflated balloon, and they stuff it with chicken feathers.
Could you use a condom?
You probably could.
Back in my day, we didn't have those.
Like more elongated. We had them in my day, but they made out of sheepskin.
Are you ready to go live, I guess?
Yeah, let's go. How do we turn it on?
I think we rub it.
Oh, okay. Is it on?
I don't know.
Are we turning it on?
Viewers, are you there? I don't know. I'll just hit play and hopefully it works.
All right, put on your LPs.
I will.
Okay.
Oh, you're so wild. Yeah, you think you're so wild. But you're a counterculture. Straight and line.
And welcome to this week's episode of Ballhawk Blab, the first and only video baseball podcast for Ballhawks by Ballhawks, inspired by the legendary Hall & Oates.
Hall & Oates.
Oates. We come back after a little bit of a sabbatical from last week where I was at game. Tony was on the road we'll have a little bit of a road cap preview. Well, actually, it wouldn't be a preview, be a review. Talking about our road trips. We'll talk about this facility behind me. We'll also talk about some Ballhawk festivals that were held, little impromptu ones. Tony, anything I'm leaving out?
Yeah, we were trying like some little kid was trying to like pick a fight with us, and I think that we're just gonna leave it at that. If you're that little kid who is trying to pick a fight with us, respect your elders. That's all I have to say about that.
Yeah.
Stay off our lawn.
Get off of it.
So
Stay off.
let's start with where you're at, and then you can give like a recap of SunTrust and like opening day and stuff like that, because we might as well not delay it anymore. Let's jump right into it.
It's like the elephant in the room right now.
Yeah.
So as you can see, here's my new lovely home. They're getting a little loud behind us, so they're starting up our pre-game little entertainment thing. So I'm gonna try to speak over them a bit. If you can't hear me all that well, just let me know, and we'll try something else. But here is SunTrust Park, and we might even make a little bit trip around the area. Yeah, I think we might do that. So you can see a little bit others of the area. So you can see right now the outfield area, not as great as Turner Field, just because we don't have the same gaps. We're kind of limited in some of the areas, like out here in right field. It's a bit crowded because that's kind of the only area they can go during batting practice. Just over here in right field, there's a lot of stand-up tables. Kind of hard to get in there if you don't have a ticket. So it's a beautiful facility. I'll kind of walk around and show you a bit more of it from the upper deck as we go along. But
I have a question for you.
The lack of a gap really hurts numbers. So yes, Tony.
So the question I have for you is, now that you've been there a few games, the home runs that you've seen, have the home runs actually made it to the fans, or have they kind of been swallowed up by those kind of dead areas?
Well, let's see. You can see out there in right field, getting into the stands. I haven't really seen a lot that you can't get to. A lot of the kids will just climb out into what we call down here in the south a monkey grass. Pretty good. There haven't been a lot of home runs hit down the left field line that get swallowed up by the bullpen. So throughout the game, there will be some that do get caught up in there. It's kind of the area that swells up a lot. There's that orange area down there that says State Farm. I don't know if you can see that from that angle. But that kind of swallows up a lot of home runs. It's kind of a sweet spot for home runs right there. So we're kind of losing a bit to that. And then the batter's eye, it's a waterfall area. I think I posted a picture about it yesterday. I counted 11 baseballs in there. I saw about 4 or 5 others go there during batting practice. So we're kind of losing a lot to that area as well. So that's a little quick overview of what we have here at SunTrust Park. Now we kind of looked at it before it was batting practice and really involved. I think the thing that really sucks about it the most is there's a lot of areas that are kind of limited in your access to them just because you need a ticket. I know this area down here that originally people thought you could just go into, you actually need a ticket to get in that area. I tried to get in there that day and they wouldn't let me in. Any other questions about lovely view?
How have the toss-ups been? Have you been watching those at all?
I have. That's not a big part of my game. I'll kind of call up to them, but I'm trying to play more of the hits. And they seem to be average. Padres are pretty decent with it. Nationals are pretty good today. A little bit better than the Padres. Not too much better, but they were a little bit better with it today. But no, it's not some of those more stinky teams with their concepts. I'm looking at you, Tampa Bay. So that's kind of an overview of SunTrust I don't know if you can look down here. You can see those nice, big, huge walkways at club level. I haven't seen many balls go in there, but we also kept out 30 minutes at the beginning, which really eats into any batting practice of the Braves. We see the last group, which, you know, for a lot of people that's common. For us in Atlanta, that's kind of new because we've always been able to get 2.5 hours early.
Has all of the road issues, has that prevented other people from further out of town getting there, or have you heard much about that?
I think those have been pretty much isolated. There hasn't been a major issue with people getting to the park. I know the highway that caught on fire is on the other side of the city, so that really hasn't hurt much when it comes to people getting into the stadium. The part of the highway that just buckled yesterday is heading out of town. And again, that's on the other side of the city, so that hasn't really been an issue. And I'm trying to think if there's one other place. Yeah, yesterday morning, the whole downtown main thoroughfare artery through the middle of the city was shut down because of a chemical spill. But again, that's all. That's on another part of town, so that hasn't been too bad.
So how many games have you been to so far there?
This is game number 5 for me. So I went to all 4 of the Padres games, and I think I'll be at every game until the beginning of June, where I need to miss a few games for some family commitment type deals. But other than that, I plan to be here every day.
And what's the total at? What's the high score?
High score for myself right now is 5. Zach has the total lead at 7. He had 7, I think. Not opening. It wasn't opening day. I think it was the second day up here. 7. So really trying to get there to double digits. Without the gap, it's going to be difficult just because the crowds are going to be a little bit bigger because it's a new stadium, and there's no more gap as well. That really could help me get into the double digits. I don't want to say on a regular basis, but fairly easily. And then on the days that you're kind of in that zone where there's nobody in there, even getting into the 20s was always a possibility. So, Tony, let's talk about road trips. I know kind of talked about a road trip. I know you just went on a big one.
That's what she said.
Road trip. Yeah, you went on a big one. You went on a big one.
It was good.
Sorry, Miss Admiri. Talking about big ones.
It was good. Overall, I went to 3 different stadiums. That was the first time that I had ever been there. And I'm trying to think here. On Tuesday, I made it out to Seattle at Safeco. Then on Thursday at AT&T Park in San Francisco, in case you don't know. And then Friday, my last day, I went to O.co, where you were at about a week and a half before.
And how do those stadiums compare to what you're used to?
I would have to say that the magic has kind of worn off Target Field lately. So I think that, since the magic is worn off, I think that even Safeco overtakes it. And AT&T, the only thing that's lacking compared to Fenway and Wrigley, which are at the top of my list, is the history at AT&T. Otherwise, I think some of the sight lines are even more better. It's just AT&T for just a ballpark, if you were to build a new one, is amazing. And the fact that it was opened back in 2000 and is still at the top of its game, I can't comprehend how that's even possible. And then right across the bay in Oakland, it's still there. I think that's the nicest thing that can be said. So, whoa. It looks like you're there.
I was just going to add, I think, I look here at SunTrust Park. In the area outside that you can kind of see about this area here, it's probably the best of what I've ever seen in any of the parks I've been to. I would equate it to what they have in Cincinnati with that whole area next to the stadium, but even bigger and better than what they have there at Cincinnati. The stadium itself, I don't really see tons of stuff that really stand out of being special for it. It's a decent backdrop. You have the city far in the distance, but when it comes to an actual stadium itself, I don't see much that I would call special about the stadium, other than it being new and nice.
I would still have to say that it probably ranks in the top half of the league. Once I finally get down there, I'm guessing that it's probably close to a top 10 stadium just from what I've heard, but I'll be able to tell. The one thing that you did mention that I like about the new stadium there is there's more room outside of it. There's cool things to not necessarily do, but see on the outside. And like I've been telling a lot of other people when I've been on the road trip, when it comes to Target Field, I still get frustrated that there's not water incorporated with it, especially being the land of 10,000 lakes. And the fact that I saw that you guys have some fountains out there, it looks really cool. So I'm excited to finally see that part.
Yeah, we have some fountains that shoot off after every strikeout. They shoot up in the air, home run, and also that shoot off after victories as well. So
nice.
It's always like a nice water feature. I think McCovey Cove Dave was talking about trying to bring his kayak and getting in it out there. So I think he might have to get that approved by the Braves, but he might be bobbing around in there trying to get some home run BT balls.
Nice. So what did you end up on your road trip? How many balls and what? I didn't even say what I got. I should go back. Seattle got 7. Somehow lucked out at AT&T and got 7. That was amazing, and I guess tied for second on mygameballs.com for verified members. So that's pretty sweet. And then got a 6 in Oakland, which isn't bad. The whole road trip was a total of 20. I was just going to be happy getting maybe 2 or 3 at each stadium. And then the other thing that I have that I'm trying to look for, I'll be right back. You tell what you did, and then I'll show you one of my specials.
All right, on my trip, it was not just so sad. I kind of got to the stadium in Oakland a little bit late. As batting practice was opening up, or actually started up a little bit. So I got one there. And I was kind of limited in my area I could get to, because I didn't know that if you didn't have a ticket for the outfield bleachers, you couldn't get into the outfield bleachers. So I got one there. Next stop was Dodger Stadium. New stadium for me. Wasn't really prepared for how narrow the bleachers are out there. Ended up with 2 there, and I did do pretty well at Chase Field in Arizona. Got in early with the help of our good friend Nick Batters. Ended up with 5 there, so a total of 7, 8 for the whole trip.
And then you also went to some minor league stadiums, right?
I did, but normally when I go to minor league stadiums, I'm not really looking there to do any ball hockey per se. Just kind of looking to go and experience the stadium.
And how many minor league stadiums did you hit?
I hit 3 total. I hit Albuquerque, Colorado Springs, as well as Oklahoma City.
Nice.
So all were pretty good. Some had better features than others. I know Oklahoma City was pretty nice, probably the best stadium of them all, followed by Albuquerque, and then kind of the area around Colorado Springs is pretty sweet. Driving up the top of Pikes Peak and all.
Nice. Well, here is the prized possession that I was aiming for out in Seattle. I ended up with 3 of these, 2 from batting practice and then 1 from the game. The game one is behind glass right now, so I can't really show that. But really nice. They're using, I would say it's about 50-50, maybe a little bit less in their BP right now. But I'm guessing as the year goes on, they'll probably add more and more in there. So if you're looking to score these, the good news is that they are using them in BP. So you don't necessarily have to just work for toss-ups and go out to Seattle. I'm guessing that they'll probably bring them with, at least in small doses, when they're traveling this year. So be on the lookout. Mariners 40th anniversary ball.
Which would be pretty sweet because I do know that they do come here to Atlanta at some point. So hopefully they bring some and mix them in with all of what they got there.
So how many miles did you put on the vehicle?
What's that, Tony?
How many miles did you put on your vehicle approximately? Do you
I
remember?
put on 6,100 miles on my car on the trip out from Atlanta to up through Nebraska into Wyoming. From there out to the Bay Area and Oakland. From Oakland down LA via the coast, which is always great to see the ocean, especially when it's an ocean you haven't seen before. Then from LA out to Arizona. So it was a pretty good trip. For me, getting out there was a lot more difficult than coming back, just because I had more stops on the way back and was able to break up the drive more. So that was pretty nice. I know that you kind of long trip out, long trip back. That kind of sometimes makes it pretty rough.
Yeah, it wasn't too terribly bad. I'm in second place right now for miles. I'm hoping to overtake you pretty soon. I only put on close to 4,600, so you still have me beat by about 1,500 plus your trip down to Florida. So I really got to catch up.
Right.
But on my way back, I basically drove straight from Reno to Minneapolis. And if you're wondering, that's almost exactly 24 hours.
And I've done the trip pretty much from Reno to Nebraska in one day. And by the time you hit Reno, you want to kind of throw up just from being sick or that tired.
Yep. I am going to share my screen here quick because the one part that I really want to share and showcase, again, it comes down to going off AT&T Park, is this. This was the really cool part that I wasn't really expecting, that I didn't do my research on, and it is, whoa, lost it here. It is an area in right field at AT&T Park where you can get in. So the day before I had tickets to the game, I just walked over there with the dog, and magically we got to watch about an inning or two together, and it was really cool to share that experience with my puppy. And then they also have some nice statues on the outside, including the seal. And then this was one of my favorite pictures. It was just really cool to finally see that Bay Area and see that water. I don't know what it is about water in baseball. I think it's just the novelty of being able to hit a home run into water, but it's just really cool. I can't say enough. Are you planning on getting out there sometime?
I think what my plan is it probably won't happen this year, but what I need to do is kind of look at a trip that would include not Seattle, but San Francisco, Anaheim, and the Padres are all at home at the same time, so I can knock all three of those out in one trip. Making that trip is great, but there also are monetary limitations.
Yep.
Yeah, limitations that come into play, especially in California, because gas is almost $1 more expensive there than it is anywhere else in the country. So yeah, it's great, but you got to kind of budget what you have every year also.
Yep. And San Francisco, just in general, all the expenses are way higher. Food was way higher. Places to stay were a lot higher. I ended up spending the majority of my time over in Oakland just because it was a little bit cheaper, but it's still, like you said, expenses in California much higher than the rest of the country. I don't know. I think it'd be kind of cool at some point to kind of like what we were talking about with Ballhawk Fest. If we almost have like a roaming Ballhawk Fest or some type of road trip excursion, not just you and me, but it could just be you and me. But if we try to involve others and kind of meet up at these places, and that way we can kind of pool resources and rent one big place or just a couple places and split the cost that way, because I think it would just be kind of fun to start doing tours and get kind of more of a community going for those people who want that type of thing.
And that leads us, that's a good segue into our brand new sponsor, Errr Bed and Baseball. Errr Bed and Baseball, look for it in the future.
Yes. So if you haven't been following us, we threw that idea over to My Game Balls, Alan Schuster, because we were talking about, I think it was actually my buddy Jared who said something about how it's going to be tough to drive around in Atlanta right now. And I said something to the effect of, well, when I go, I'm just going to have to stay with David, I guess. He's going to have to open a Airbnb. And then that's when you said,
you mean Errr Bed and Baseball? And the slogan is, get your own damn breakfast.
yes. So if you like that idea, we're not 100% serious with the creation of it, but if you are a person who can host others or would just kind of like to, not necessarily that you have to host them by having them stay with you, but if you would like to do that, you can. But if you can also just be a host in a city and help people out, I know that you've done that before. I've tried to reach out when people are coming in and just, they can pick my brain, they can meet me at the gates, I can give them all the information that they need. So it's one of those deals where if we start to kind of throw out ideas and not necessarily turn it into a business, but just try to do something that makes it a little bit easier to travel to these cities and visit new stadiums without fully going into some type of financial debt.
Yeah, and I think too, you can do a lot of research and find a lot of the cool parts of town, the places to eat, and go and things to see. But there's a lot of times too that there's only things that some locals know about that you're never going to be able to find on the internet or something, or just cool things to do around a town that the locals are going to know much better than you'd even be able to research.
Yep, agreed. So if you like the idea of Airbnb, Errr Bed and Baseball, maybe we can start using the forums on My Game Balls, or just start posting. Even if you use the hashtag Errr Bed and Baseball, we'll start to retweet some of those things, and that way, if you are saying, hey, I can host someone, or hey, I'm looking for someone in a different city that I'm traveling to at least help me out or point me in the right direction, we can start facilitating that and see what type of opportunities it brings people, and hopefully it makes it more enjoyable and less stress when you're traveling and trying to do something that is a stress reliever.
Yeah, and I think too, I know down here, we almost had a little mini Ballhawk Fest breakout down here just in its opening series with myself, Padre Lee, and Zach Campbell. We're down here, and that was pretty nice to be able to have 3 of the top 10 Ballhawks in number of all-time baseballs all in one stadium at one time. Tony, so we almost had our own little Ballhawk Fest, and if we really knew a little bit ahead of time, we might have been able to plan something like that in the area, just because people have connections and maybe can set some of those things up. Tony, I know that you had your own little impromptu Ballhawk Fest up in Seattle. You want to talk about that a little bit?
Yeah, so the day after opening day in Seattle, so that was that Tuesday, it was all of us kind of knew about it in advance, and we started to have a string of text messages, and it kind of got pretty funny just because of some ticketing situations that if you listen to the podcast, the audio for At the Gates, we'll dive into it a little bit, but it was me, Chris H. from New York, and Greg Barish from New York as well. It was us three at the game, and we put up a total of, I think, 25 that day, as well as I know that Wayne was there, and I think Greg got to meet Wayne, but I didn't. We didn't run across paths with each other, but to have.
Hey, Wayne, I got a new complaint.
So, I mean, we had 4 decent Ballhawks there. I mean, I'm not going to say that I'm great, but Greg is high up there. I know that Wayne's been doing it a long time, and Chris is also very good, and especially because having a New York City Ballhawk, actually 2 of them, it's just kind of cool to meet these new people and start developing those relationships and showcasing your abilities or sometimes lack thereof, and be able to kind of show off as well as humiliate yourself all in one day. It makes it kind of fun. And if you're watching this, Greg, fuck you, because you Chris and I were joking about this. I don't understand how insanely lucky. I know that it's good positioning, but to literally like run over to a place in the stadium behind home, and then like 2 pitches later get a foul ball hit right at you it's insane. And Greg, you have to know that yes, you did things correctly, but you were also so damn lucky, and you're one of the best for a reason, but doesn't mean that I can't hate you sometimes.
So we're about to get started here before too long, and there's a nice big area down here. I don't need to go just yet, but you got anything else before we need to go?
Just yell at people to get off your lawn, because as an old guy, I'm really getting frustrated that people are starting to walk on your lawn and they're not the baseball players.
Yeah, there's a bunch of girls down the lawn right now, which we enjoy girls. Girls, you can walk on the lawn all you want.
You can walk on my lawn.
Yeah, we got some people about to sing down there. They were on the lawn earlier. Get off my lawn, kids. Get out of here. These kids, and they're singing, and they're dancing.
And their damn iPhones.
Yeah, we should outlaw dancing like they did on Footloose.
We should. You're absolutely right. Shall I play us out with a little Hall & Oates? Oh, speaking of, I picked up this because when I go out to new stadiums and new cities, I also go to record stores. So one day when I was passing through a record store, I saw this one for $1, and it reminded me of my best friend in the whole wide world, a guy who's too far away right now from me, but via the magic of the interwebs, we're bonding together again. So this sweaty skin is my skin for you.
And mine in return.
In July, maybe we can mix sweat.
With a sweaty high five.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking.
So,
all right.
Well, we have a first pitch here, so
all right.
A little H&O. That's what we have on the turntable today.
Goodbye from Minneapolis and from Atlanta.
Bye from SunTrust Park. Oh. I'm glad we were able to talk about those kids and all of what they do.
Goddamn kids. I hate them.
I mean,
especially ones from Cincinnati.
Like, oh, look at us in Cincinnati. We got a river.
Yeah.
And
Oh,
then,
look, we're close to Kentucky, which has nothing. Oh, except for fried chicken. Ugh.
yeah. So, yeah. I don't know.
Should we
But-
never have him on the show? Let's always act like we're gonna have Cole on the show, but never have him
See,
on.
and here's my other problem with kids. Like, they don't take their hats off for the national anthem and stuff.
Or their pants.
But okay, it's just sagging down the butt.